Hello, IDS1001 students. My name is Debbie Rutledge, and I am here to talk with you this week about mental health and resources on campus. All semester, we have been talking to you about your story and that you have a story worth telling, and we have been working with you to help you really examine and reflect on that story. But the reality is that for probably all of us, there are chapters in our stories that are more difficult than others. Mental health challenges crop up, things happen that are just hard to deal with, and that is especially true of college students. You have left home for the first time, many of you. You have a lot more freedom, a lot more challenges, a lot more responsibility. So we want to spend a few minutes talking about mental health. So I want to start out with some statistics that I find rather alarming, but I think are important to give us a backdrop. 27% of college students have been diagnosed with depression. That is a very common issue in our society. 57.7% of students have felt overwhelming anxiety in the past year. 39% of all students in the United States report dealing with some kind of mental illness. 64% of students who drop out of college report that they do so because of mental health problems. And yet only 9% of college students in the United States decide to seek professional help about their mental health issues. And that's what we want to talk about today. So what is mental health? Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes their own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and contributes to their community. So hopefully it's what we experience on most days. We have a reasonable level of mental health that allows us to engage productively with our world. So what is a mental health challenge? Mental health challenge really runs the gambit of early signs and symptoms. So we're going along, feeling healthy, and then something happens. It may include worsening signs and symptoms. There may be a crisis. But a mental health challenge is when there's a major change in a person's thinking, feeling, or acting. That change interferes with the person's ability to live their life. And the interference doesn't go away quickly and lasts longer than typical emotions or reactions would be expected to. Mental illness or mental disorder is something that is diagnosable, and it affects a person's thinking, emotional state, and behavior. It disrupts that person's ability to work, carry out daily activities, engage in satisfying relationships. Some common mental health risks in college include depression, anxiety, substance use disorders, eating disorders, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and suicidal ideation. I would suggest that depression, anxiety, and substance abuse and eating disorders are probably the four most common on college campuses, and Rochester University is not an exception to that. Students, however, are in a unique position to take control, advocate, and watch out for their mental health and the mental health of their peers. It's important to learn how to recognize warning signs of mental health issues or challenges and how to help, including how to talk to peers, how to practice self-care, manage emotions, access help, and learn how to be a better support for others. Talking is critical. It's especially important that if you notice or have a gut feeling that another student is struggling. It's also more likely that a student will report emotional distress and suicidal ideation to another student rather than an older adult. So what are some of the resources that we have available here at Rochester University? The first one is the McKinnon Psychology Clinic and Counseling. It's located on the west side of campus in the Muirhead building. And you can get, I believe it's 5 free sessions to get started with psychotherapy, and further sessions are at a very affordable rate. Another resource that we have that is available 24/7 is Campus Health. that's provided by Timely MD. It's 24/7 access on demand for both physical or medical issues and what they call Talk Now visits dealing with emotional well-being. They point out that 67% of students reported that counseling services promoted their academic performance, and 65% of their students stated that counseling helped them to stay in school. A lot of times it just feels overwhelming at college, and that's especially true in October. As you're hitting midterms, you will have just wrapped up midterms. So talking to someone can be vital in just helping yourself stay even and maintaining your mental health. In addition to utilizing those resources, self-care is very important. And if you Google self-care, you will find lists of hundreds, but some of the main ones that I would encourage you to focus on are sleep, eating healthy, balanced meals, exercise, taking breaks to refuel, journaling, meditate and practice relaxation techniques, set realistic goals for yourself, get support from relationships. At Rochester University, we are here to support you and encourage you. If you are concerned, reach out to your professors. If you're having struggles, reach out to a professor, an advisor, a peer, talk to somebody, and utilize the mental health resources that we have to offer.